What's up, humans? It's Steven, and it's time for the final episode of Arcane. Now, before we get into this, I want to show you guys something. So I did a drawing for this season of Arcane, and surprise, surprise, it's Jinx and Powder. I'll put a better picture on the screen. I know I drew Jinx last season, but I mean, what can I say? She's my favorite character. It's To me, this has always been her story from the very beginning, since we got that very first POV shot from Powder. And yeah, I just love her so much as a character, and I had a lot of fun drawing this. It's been a while since I worked with color pencils on this type of paper, so yeah, it's fun. Stick around to the end of the video, and I'll put the time lapse of me working on this in the discussion. But before we get into it, let's just talk about expectations for this episode. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting from this episode. There are quite a few things that I just have no idea where we're going with this. Specifically, the Black Rose. I just feel like we haven't got enough information on them. They seem to think that they're benevolent and what they're doing is for the good of the world. But we don't even know if we can trust them or not, and I'm not sure if that comes to a good resolution in this episode, but we'll see. I'm also looking to see the time travel that Ekko and Heimerdinger and Powder from the other universe were able to come up with. I'm looking to see that make a play in this episode. I don't think we get that sequence, seeing them come up with time travel, if it's not going to play into this final episode. It could just be a nod to the game, because I know that Ekko has time related abilities in the game, and they just wanted to show you how he got there. But I'm imagining that's going to play a role in this episode, hopefully. But other than that, yeah, I'm like complete. I have no idea. I don't know if characters are gonna die or not, because like I said, I don't know where this lands in the timeline of the game. Either way, I'm ready for it. I'm excited to get into it. This is a bittersweet moment because I love this show so much. Not very excited for it to end. But without further ado, let's get into the final episode ever of Arcane. Let's get it. Oh my god, her hair is crazy long. Wait, did she cut it? Oh, Jinx, baby girl, what are you about to do? Hello? We are like 10 seconds in. She is not about to die. Yep. The time! Let's go, Ekko!
Always a dance with you. I think I'm just gonna sit here a minute, catch my breath. See if I can talk an old friend out of blowing us up.
I'm tired of talking.
No!
Yo, this is kind of cool.
Someone worth building it for.
Wow, the music synced up to the light is crazy. Oh shoot, we're here. We're in battle. What a shot. Damn. This is like peak Hex tech. This is basically what Heimerdinger saw when they first brought it to him. Oh. That's a damn. Got the Blades of Chaos. Oh, she's got a railgun now? And Bessa just tanked like 4 shots from a railgun. Yo. Oh no, not my guy. I never even learned your name, big dog. Oh, they're gonna release the gray. Damn. And this battle's going way faster than I thought it would. And Bessa said, y'all are playing at war. I actually do this shit. Like, this is all we fucking do. No! Maddie, you... I should have seen it coming. The signs were always there. I'm so disappointed.
I did appreciate your warmth.
Let's go, Mel. Oh, I didn't know she could do that. It's my girl. Let's go. I'm digging the shark hoodie. Oh, it's the team up of the century, ladies and gentlemen. For Zon! Ooh, she got a really big gun. That's crazy that she can shield other people. Like, I thought it just extended from her own body, but she can literally throw shields at people. That's dope. Ooh. Ooh. Get wrecked. He wasn't even in there, was he? Yeah. Classic bait and switch.
I am pleased to see you.
Damn. Shit. Yo, Warwick looks dope as hell. Right, Vander ain't in there no more, so do not hesitate. Oh, what a shot! Damn, man, Bessa is kicking ass. Damn, Mel mastered her abilities real quick. Very fast. She lost an eye. She definitely lost an eye on that one. But can you do it, Mel?
Has no mercy.
Oh!
What are you doing, sister? I see your face, deceiver. Sly girl.
Okay, so I didn't think we could trust the Black Rose. What just happened?
You are the wolf. Looks like you shouldn't have come back. don't get it, huh, sis? I'm always with you. Even when we're worlds apart.
Yeah, it's a lot more green in the blue of her hair now. Which I kind of like.
Vander.
That ain't Vander. Whoa. He's bulletproof, of course he is. Damn! Oh shoot! Fancy meeting you here. This is it. This is where it happens. The destruction of everything. Come on, Ekko. You're our only hope. You're now starting to see the paths, how everything is connected. This is cosmic apotheosis on a grand scale. The halo, oh my god.
You were never broken, Viktor. There is beauty in imperfections.
Let's go, Ekko! Do your thing, son. Shit. Rewind time, do it again. This is so freaking cool, man. Yeah, you can't go back far enough. Or can he? Can you push the limit past 4 seconds, Ekko? Do it! Overdrive! A time bomb? Oh. There he is. There's the real Viktor.
Why do you persist after everything I've done?
Because I promised you. Why did you ever give me this?
So it is Viktor.
I thought I could bring an end to the world's suffering. But when every equation was solved, there is no prize to perfection.
Yeah.
Only an end to pursuit. Only you can show me this.
God, that's so beautiful. Your partners. You do everything together.
We finish this together.
All the souls going off to the great beyond. Oh! Damn! That's 2 concussions. Yeah, Vi, you might. You definitely need to go to a hospital after that. He's gone, Vi. Let that man rest. I feel like Jinx is gonna give her life for Vi. It's a trade-off because in the other universe, Vi died and not Jinx.
If I could just lay my head down and rest. Maybe then I could finally be free. Maybe death is. I used to have strength, but I ran out of hope. I know it's my fault that I'm here all alone. This world is a wasteland. Please let me go.
I saw it coming and it still got me. Screw this show, man. I do love it though.
The agony of every sacrifice. There's more than one should bear. We, whose decisions led us here. And though we are doomed to revisit the error of our ways, spark ever more conflicts,
Mel's wearing red like her mom now.
are you still in this fight, Violet?
Hell no. What's left to fight for?
The dirt under your nails, Cupcake. Nothing's gonna clean me out.
We'll be right back. All right. I had to go cry for a little bit because, man, first I gotta say RP Jinx, RP Powder. Her death hit me really hard because, like, I've always kind of seen, ever since like maybe episode 2, after really getting to know Powder, I've always kind of like seen her kind of like as a surrogate daughter. And I know that's weird to say about an animated figure, but I think they've just done such a good job at the complexities and the ideology and just the entire character of Powder into Jinx. Like, she gives you that feel of like just this child that has so much potential, and you really want to see her succeed. Like, no matter how many times she fails, no matter how many times she does stupid things, you know how great she can be, and so you just want to nurture her and to guide her into that position that she can be in. But due to the circumstances of the world and things around her, she never quite lived up to the potential that she could have. Even though she did amazing things and did world-changing things, we just never got to see her at her fullest potential, like she was on track to be in the other universe. And I think what's beautiful about the end of this episode, this season, this show, is I'm really glad that we did get to peek into the other universe, because our first watch, it felt weird going to this other universe, other dimension, in which Powder is alive and Vi is not, and all of this stuff. It felt weird initially, but when you see the shot of Vi and Caitlyn at the end, it kind of all started to come together, because it's like you can kind of take solace in the fact that even though in this universe Jinx is dead, in the other universe, we know that she's thriving, and in that universe, Vi is dead, but we know in this universe she found peace at the end. I would dare say she found peace, and so it's just touching. And again, you can find solace in that. You can also find solace in understanding that there's likely a dimension in which both of them survive, and Vander and Silco, and none of this ever happened. They all just got to live a somewhat of a happy life. And I think that's always what's been really great about multi-universe theory, is just the understanding that whatever you're disappointed about in this life, it's very possible that you are having a better life somewhere else, or you're having a worse life somewhere else. Like, this could be as good as it gets for you. Like, you could be having the best life possible. And so I just think that was a really beautiful way to wrap it up. Man, it is tough. It was tough seeing her die though, but bravo to the creators of this show for wrapping her story up. I think you can say that her story was wrapped up nicely, and she got to go out being a hero. And that's really all you could ask for. The battle sequence, I have to say, that is gonna always be up there for me amongst my top favorite battle sequences. You've got the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings, the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones, you've got Storming the Beaches of Normandy and Saving Private Ryan. And for me, the battle sequence, I feel like, is right up there with all of those. Now, critically, and other people may not feel that way, it may not ever be hailed as a great battle sequence like the ones that I just named, mainly because this is animated, and while animation comes with its own complications and struggles, it's not as hard, so to speak, as filming a large battle scene with live action characters. Those sequences are so dangerous to film. A lot of people get hurt. A lot of people's lives are put on the line when you're trying to film something of that massive scale. And so the battles that I just named, those will always be held as like some of the greatest battles put to film. But I think this is right up there. I think the action, I think the blocking, I think how everything came together. It was the pacing of it was amazing. Seeing everybody, put their abilities to the test. I just think it was really well done, and I really appreciate that battle sequence. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because I really liked it a lot. And I think, years from now, people will look back fondly on this battle sequence and be like, that was pretty dope. So I really want to talk about the art because, man, like the art, I've said it before, the art has always meant so much to this show and conveying certain messages to you. And the thing that I realized this episode, I didn't realize it all until literally this episode, when you see the shot of Viktor and he's like super godly, he's floating in the air and he's got the halo behind him. This entire season, they've based the art style on the Baroque era of art. And if you're not familiar with art history, the Baroque era, I'll put up some art from the Baroque time. You have no doubt seen a lot of these artworks, but the Baroque era of art, I want to say it started in like the late 16th century in Italy. It carried mostly throughout the 17th and 18th century. It was post-Renaissance era of art, but the Baroque art style has a lot to do with religious figures, grandiose, large-scale works that have a lot of detail, a lot of gold, a lot of dramatization, movement, and it really came out of. It came as a way for like the Italian church to combat the sort of anti-religious movement that was trying to pop up after the Renaissance era. The Italian church really wanted to enforce the idea that religion and belief in God and holiness was still popular, still good, and still a thing. And so they commissioned a lot of artists to create this Baroque style art that really portrayed the beauty and awe and magnificence of God, angels, religion, the idea of being holy. So you see a lot of angelic, sculptures and paintings coming up during that era. You see a lot of things with halo, a lot of gold, a lot of Baroque era art consisted of gold and just this regal nature. And I think that's so fascinating that this season took, inspiration from Baroque art, which is some of my favorite art, honestly. Like, I really love the way it plays out. But for them to use that here when you have these two sides of a city who have never quite been religious, they've more so been a city based on science and magic, who are now sort of experiencing this uprising in religion, so to speak, with Viktor and his godlike abilities. And I just think it's interesting at how, that's kind of what brought everybody together. And in the end, that's what stopped. I wouldn't say that's what stopped the Hex Tech, but the religious aspect has been a big part of this season. And so I think tailoring the art style to a more Baroque-esque style of art was honestly genius. And in talking about that, we got to talk about Viktor and Jayce, because I honestly feel like that scene with them was probably the strongest scene of the season for me personally, because all this season Viktor has been going through sort of the effects of cosmic apotheosis. And so cosmic apotheosis is just an awareness on a cosmic scale of an awareness outside of your individual self. We as human beings, we live in this plane of existence and we see ourselves as individuals. But that's not exactly the case. If you've ever done psychedelics, or if you know anything about psychedelics, there's this thing called ego death. And it's when you go on a trip, whether it be, whether ingesting some sort of psychedelic, if you take too much or you reach a certain level of psychedelic trip, you reach this thing called ego death, where essentially your individuality fades away and you start to see the world for what it truly is. And that is that all things are connected, all human beings, all life, everything on this planet, on this plane of existence, all connects. We are not the individuals we perceive ourselves to be. We do all have a connection in some form or fashion. We do all connect to one another. And when you experience ego death and you come to that realization, it can be quite jarring, because when you come down from it and you come back to this individualistic state of mind, but knowing and understanding the connections between everybody, it can leave you in this sort of weird space, of false benevolence, I would say, because and it's very similar to the Matrix. Like when they say you woke up from the Matrix and you no longer, like, you can't fall for the lie that's in front of your face, and you kind of walk it around while everyone else is still quote unquote in the Matrix, still under this false sense of individuality. You kind of lose your humanity, because you keep thinking on a quote unquote higher level. You keep wanting to surpass all of the human struggles, war, all the conflict that humans have. When you experience ego death, you start to understand that it's all pointless. And coming back down from ego death is such a strange occurrence, because you have to find that empathy again. You lose a lot of empathy when you see the world for what it really is. I have experienced such things in earlier years of my life. But there's a fine line that you have to walk between cosmic apotheosis and nihilism. And Viktor, for all intents and purposes, with all his grandiose understanding of the universe and life, he needed to come back down. He needed to be brought back down to reality, because regardless of how you understand or how you see life, how you see how everything is connected, at the end of the day, the world does still see everyone in the world does still see ourselves as individuals, right? So there's no way that we can kind of get everybody on this sort of hive mind, same mindset of the quote unquote ego death. So you kind of have to bring yourself back to humanity and just understand that it's not our place as human beings to try and elevate people or elevate the world to this singularity, this singular level of consciousness. Like, that's just highly unrealistic. The beautiful thing about life is that we have adopted this individual perspective. The fact that we have placed ourselves in this life as individuals, and we all are on this journey trying to live out our lives. Like, we were fortunate enough to receive consciousness on this level to where we can make our own decisions, how futile they may be. We can make our own decisions. We can make our own mistakes. We can, mess up, but we can also do great things for the world. Like, it's just like Viktor said, like I can't remember if it was Viktor or Jayce, but there is beauty in imperfection. And when you do understand that, it is a beautiful thing to have the cosmic awareness that everything is connected, but to also just come to the understanding that, we have a gift in the fact that we have this consciousness and that we see life the way that we do, with our own individualities, our own stories. I don't know. It's just something beautiful about that, and it is something that you can appreciate. So we watched Viktor go on this crazy journey that is pretty much equivalent to someone going on a major psychedelic trip, experiencing ego death, becoming disconnected from the world for a while, but then coming back down into their understanding. Like, if you ever looked into nihilism, people like Jean-Paul Sartre or Carl Jung, like, you hear them talk about just this understanding that you can go to a point where you're too nihilistic, and you can come to a point where you're too nihilistic and you can say that nothing matters, everything is pointless, everything is hopeless, yada yada, or you can understand that life has no meaning, quote unquote, and you can make your own meaning out of it. And that's kind of what we saw. That's kind of the arc that we saw Viktor go on here. And I do think it's nice that it was his future self that sort of put all this into motion and brought all this into play. So I don't know how that plays for everybody else. I don't know if you guys found this to be a satisfying ending, but for me, I found it to be incredibly satisfying, just from that perspective in general. And I would like to hear you guys in the comments. Just let me know, were you satisfied with the ending of this show? Did you like the way things played out? Do you wish it would have played out differently? What would you have changed if so? But for me personally, especially having never played the game, having never looked into too much of the lore of this universe, 10 out of 10. It really is a 10 out of 10. I love the way everything played out. I wish we could have gotten a little more from Ekko. Don't get me wrong, Ekko did a lot. Ekko pretty much saved the day. But I would have liked to get a little bit more of him in the aftermath of losing Jinx. I mean, he's kind of alone now. Like, he has no Heimerdinger, he has no Benzo, he has no Silco, no Vander. Vi is all booed up with Caitlyn, so she's busy with her thing, you know. But Ekko's just kind of out there, you know, and it's kind of sad. But I would like to know, you know, where his story goes. Does he team up with Savika to sort of make the Undercity better or what? But in the end, overall, I'm happy with how this show ended, and I'm really appreciative of all of you joining me on this journey. I remember a couple years ago, this was the very first show that I started reacting to on my channel, and so it's just wild to see it come full circle and to end it all here. And it is a bittersweet moment because I'm gonna miss this show, but I'm going to rewatch it from start to finish again very soon. But yeah, now that we're done with this, I'm only really reacting to X-Men the animated series right now. Then I'll be moving to X-Men 97. Hopefully I'll be getting back on Demon Slayer. But if you have any recommendations for things you'd like me to react on this channel, leave them in the comments and I'm gonna try and get to them. This year I'm definitely planning on increasing the amount of content that I put out, the amount of shows that I react to. I'm going to be putting more art on my channel, and I hope you guys are sticking around for that. And so if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much, so much for joining me for Arcane. This was wonderful. This was amazing, and I loved having you guys here. Remember to drink some water, and if no one's told you today, just know that I love you. Peace out, everybody.